Hey, my inky crafty friends, it's Haley Dyer, the Inky Scrapper, coming to you live this Thursday, July 16th. I hope you're doing well and surviving these dog days of summer. It's been pretty warm, although today was overcast. I think that helped a lot. I am back to work. If you don't already know, I am an assistant principal at our local elementary school. And so, I'm back at work, but that's good. I'm glad to be back, and it just means that my crafting time's a little bit limited. So thank you for joining me live here on the 16th at 7:30 p.m. or maybe later on replay. Either whether you're watching live or on replay, I would love a comment to know that you're here and you're watching. I have several things I want to show you tonight, and we're going to make some things together. So first up, I think I'm having some technical difficulties, maybe not. I am going to adjust my camera just a little bit. Let me see if that's a little bit straighter. I've got to wait because there's a lag on my computer. So I'm broadcasting live and then watching. Yeah, that's better. For some reason, the comments are not wanting to show up, so I think I am going to close this out and do it again. Technology is wonderful when it works, right? Okay. Oh, hi, Nancy D. Yes, glad to see you. I'm so glad you're here because I made your card at my class, and so I'm going to show that. But the first thing I want to show is this adorable little caddy, little desk caddy that my friend Lynn made. So Lynn, if you're watching, please say hi and take a bow. It's so cute. So I wanted to show you kind of the potential. I have my green glue, my seal, and you can even put cards in that pocket. So like as you make them, you can tuck them there, or you could put pieces in there. How cute is that? So she made, I think, a baker's dozen of these, am I right? And shared them. Aren't they sweet? With just different ones. So I wanted to give a shout out to her. This was indeed a labor of love because this was a major undertaking and such a sweet surprise. So thank you, Lynn. Actually, I'm going to leave mine here and push it out of the way for now. It might still, yeah, that's probably still on camera so that I can show some more things. We had our July, hey Pam, we had our July Crafternoon recently, and we made 4 cards. So I'm going to share them quickly. The first one uses the July Product of the Month, the Begonia Bell stamp set. So we used Daffodil Delight. We did some ink blending because the 2-step stamping was a little bit challenging, in my opinion, and decided for a class we needed it to go a little bit quicker. But I love these leaves. They are beautiful. I mean, the whole stamp set is beautiful, but gosh, I don't know, there's something about those leaves. And I forgot to put leave room for the little buds, so I put them on the inside of my card. So that was my version of the Begonia Bells card, or Bell, not Bells, Bell card. And then next up, we made this fun fold card with the balloon festoon. Everybody in class made a blue version with Secret Sea, Misty Moonlight, and Lost Lagoon, but my sample ahead of time uses Strawberry Slush, Flirty Flamingo, and Barely Blush, the new in color, and the card opens like this. And so, of course, we hid the folds with this panel, and this is an A2 size, so I'm really pleased with how that turned out. I saw an idea, something different, but it inspired me. So unfortunately, I did not save who the original artist was. I'm really bad to steal and not give credit, and I apologize. So again, this was something I saw was like this, but not with the balloons, and I was like, that's fun, here we go. So that was card number 2. So Nancy D, here is your fun fold card. We used the beautiful Velvet Meadows, so I let the paper really do a lot of the work. And so it opens like this, and then like that. I will say the ladies thought that was a lot of wasted, beautiful paper. So their suggestion was to make this panel the same size as the card base and do flaps to get the same effect, but not use up so much of that beautiful paper. It's got this flocking. It's so lovely. It's a great idea. I'm not going to re-engineer it tonight by any means, but fun idea. I love this. Thanks so much, Nancy D, for the top fold, kind of gatefold idea and instructions and all the other nights. So that's fun. So my ladies had fun. We had several different versions of that. And then last is a happy birthday card with the Silly Old Bear Suite. We used the embossing folder. We did some inking on that. We used the frames. These little balloons came from the birthday party kit. It's available right now. I can't think of what its name is though. I'm sorry, but Silly Old Bear. And this is an easel card, so it will open like this. You've got room for your message, and then you can either, after I made mine, I was like, oh, it would be better to pop up this whole panel and not just the honey jars so that it would catch on that edge, or either one. But it stands up nicely, well enough to have a pretty little little card. We also had Welcome Baby as an option, and we did a little bit of, stamping, fussy cutting, little coloring. These were die cuts, so that's fun. Anyway, that's the Silly Old Bear Suite, which I absolutely love. So those were the 4 cards from our July Crafternoon. So, oh, thanks, Nancy. I appreciate it. I'm very happy with how they turned out. So we're going to get to the star of the show tonight. I did get the hot foil system, and I got to play with it literally today. I've had it for almost a week, and today is the first day that I had time to play. So let me just share a little bit about what I've learned. I am not going to demonstrate the actual system here live tonight. I have seen lots of demonstrators in the Stampin' Up! Verse universe making videos and reels and things about it, so I'm not going to show that tonight. What I am going to show is kind of what I've done. So first of all, I did get the classic greetings. Happy birthday, get well, thank you, thinking of you, and celebrate. These guys are big. They're I mean, not massive, but they take up a lot of real estate, which is good. They can be the focal point. I mean, some pretty DSP and a sentiment, and you got a card, or you can go crazy. Oops, here's the little envelope for that. I also got the Butterfly Flight hot foil dies, and this may be a little bit easier to understand when you look at this one because there's only one sheet of dies. This is the hot foil die, and it makes it will hot foil these 5 butterflies. The rest are regular dies that cut like you're used to, and I don't know how that may help show it. The hot foil dies are kind of a matte silver, and the die cuts are more of a shiny silver. Plus, the hot foil dies are fairly smooth, and the cutting dies do have a sharp edge that you can feel. I mean, it's not going to cut you, but you can tell the difference. So those are the 2 that I got, and I started only with gold foil. You get 2 rolls in a box. The rolls are 5 inches wide. They do cut well with a paper trimmer. I had seen that online, and I can attest that they do cut well with a paper trimmer. So, whoops. I'm just trying to move things out of the way, and I'm trying not to get my fingerprints all over that. And I decided I have some of these little plastic baskets. An old card kit box would work really well for this, but I decided I want to have a bin to be able to put my negatives in, because we're going to be able to use those negatives. Maybe not right now, but in the future. So I've had some fun. I'm going to cut, this one has been hot foiled, but I haven't pulled the foil off yet. So you can see what it looks like. And so let me just go ahead. Well, I don't know, maybe from here, sorry. Let me just go ahead. This is the finished product. You saw it here first. Isn't that beautiful? And then there's a coordinating die that will cut this out. I'm having a little trouble with overfoiling and getting little smudges. Because this is going to be die cut, it doesn't matter, but I'm not sure why this is happening for me. I'm going to have to do some more research. I'm going to just set this over here for now. Oh, that just came off on my finger. That's the first time that has happened. That's interesting. Let me just try to wipe that off. Okay. I hot foiled happy birthday, and it looks like that center didn't come out very well. So I will get my take your pick tool with the sharp pointy end and just scrape that out a little bit. And I have Get Well. These are some card pieces because I'm going to make probably 2 cards tonight. Let me just set those to the side. Here is the thank you that I foiled and die cut. I also foiled and die cut Celebrate. These are all separate, and I was able to get like 3 on my hot foil plate at the same time, 2 to 3. I just was a little bit strategic. And then here is one of my butterfly panels, and the third one, actually the first one I did, it shifted a little bit and cut off this little butterfly's wing. So I have already colored and die cut that. So I'll show you that at the end, or not at the end, but in a little bit. Hi, Judy. Thanks for joining me. But also the reason I wanted to show you this basket is because I took a piece of cardstock. This comes from one of our kits. And I've put all the negatives in this little basket. I have found they want to curl, so I'm trying to put them in face up. They are a little bit staticky. And so, especially here in the South with all the humidity, I've got this nice piece of cardboard. I cut it down to 5 1/4 to fit my basket. Honestly, if I hadn't had this basket, I probably would just use a Stampin' Up! Kit box that is empty, because that's what this came from. And I'm going to go ahead and try to toss this little Thinking of You. The foil is pretty thin and it's a little bit delicate. So I am not an expert by any means. I'm going to just say that. But I do know Sarah Douglas, our CEO, on her live this week did say that there will be some plates where you're going to be able to use the negatives. Basically, I think they're going to make some flat plates so that you can use the negatives. So that's why I'm saving these. I've seen some people use adhesive with them and all that. I'm just going to throw these in here, throw this on top to try to keep them flat, and save them because they will come back. They will be resurrected as another project. And I'm just going to carefully put my foil back in this basket and get crafting. So, yay. Another thing that is part of the butterfly hot foil, the butterfly flight, is that there are a set of masks. And the masks let you color the butterflies. And I'm just going to go ahead and grab one that I have already colored. I did that this afternoon. Let me bring it up close. I'm going to do this live. So I colored and then I die cut but the cool thing about the masks is you also get a mask for the bodies. Oh, that doesn't show up well. Let me get some color behind that. There you go. The butterfly bodies. So if you like the look of the butterflies, but you don't want to invest in the whole system, and I get it, it is definitely an investment. You could get these masks and you could mask them. It won't have the gold foil. I'll have to make a sample of only using the masks. That'll be fun. And maybe I'll do that after the live. But you could absolutely enjoy these and not have the hot foil system. I just noticed that there's a number 4 on here. Can y'all see that? Maybe not. I just used them as they came out of the package, so I managed to use them the right way. Yay me. Let me set these to the side. I did want to go ahead and color one of these live with you. So I'm going to do something. Hold on. I'm going to do a couple something. Sorry. Let me get my thoughts together. I am grabbing a mat that's already inky and a little bit icky and whatnot. And I am going to put just a little bit of adhesive on the back of this. And I'm going to use my finger and some of the oils from my finger to make it not quite so sticky so that it comes off easier when we're done. And I'm just going to lay this down. Again, this is over foiling. So for this one, there's sadly a little overflowing there. I haven't yet tried to take maybe an eraser and see if that will come off. I will say that the foiling seems to really be on there. Like when you do like heat embossing, you can't flake it off. I don't think this is gonna flake off. I don't want to try to scratch it with my fingernail right now. I may need to try that, you know, at another time, but that's really nice. I'm very pleased. I do have a little bit of foil right here. There we go. I'm gonna use the tips of my scissors. There we go. Just to kind of scrape a little bit of that off because that's not supposed to be there. Anyway, I'm gonna lay this one down. I did put that little bit of adhesive on the back to hold it in place. And I want to show you how to use the masks. So if you've used masks before, you may be like, yeah, okay, didn't need to watch this. If you haven't, I hope you will stay watching. If you're watching on replay, did you know you can speed up the, in the settings, you can speed up how fast this goes. I watch a lot of my training videos at like 1.5. 2 o'clock, not 2, at double speed, it is way too Mickey Mouse for me and I get tickled, but 1.5 works kind of well. So I think it's lined up now. I think so. At least I'm happy with this, so I'm going to leave it here. Again, that paper is kind of pressed down. Stampin' Up! Has a really cool thing with this little notch right here. And I'm going to start with Fleur de Flamingo. I'm going to color this just the way I did those other butterflies. And I'll show you what that notch is for. So first of all, I'm going to just ink this up. I have used this blending brush with Fleur de Flamingo for several things. Let me press that back down, make sure. Yeah, I'm still happy with that. And I'm going to give a little swipe here, and that's going to put that notch on the paper, and it's going to make it easier for the other masks because you can line up the notches. Plus that also got some of that original, that first ink off, because you do not want to pounce this right on your project. You need to give a little inking off first so that you don't have big smudges of color where you maybe don't want them. Okay, I am working in a circular motion and I'm going clockwise and counterclockwise because I want to make sure that the bristles get all the way to the edge. I don't want to miss a spot. This is this is the lightest pink, so I'm not too worried about shading and whatnot. I'm just wanting to make sure that I have some decent coverage. And then I am going to do a little more in the middles. I don't know if it's going to show up or not, but I love the variations you get with blending, that it's not a solid color. If I wanted a solid color, I could use cardstock or whatever. So that's layer number 1, and I will clean these, but I'm not worried about it right now. My color combination came from the Color Coach, which is a PDF of different, every color has I think three color combinations. It's pretty cool. So the next color I'm using for stencil number 2 is Hydrangea Hue. So I'm going to line that up there. That does not look lined up at all, so I'm going to move it a little bit more. Yeah, because I wasn't sure how to look at that. So I'm using this butterfly as my guide, and you'll notice, at least I can see, that some of these spots overlap with the Fleur de Flamingo. So we're going to end up with a purpley shade because the pink and the kind of bluish hydrangea are going to make a bit of a purple. So let me leave that there. Sometimes I'll get sticky notes to hold things down. I'm not going to tonight in the interest of time. So there we go. Again, I'm going to do a little off and come across and around and just kind of dig in a little. It's maybe not the right terminology, but I am trying to make this a little bit more vibrant than maybe I did on the first one. Okay, so again, circular motions, both clockwise and counterclockwise. I'm gonna close this up before I pull this off. So that is Hydrangea Hue. And now look at that. So we've got our pink and our blue. And little bits that are making maybe a little bit of purple. And then last is Berry Burst, which is a really bright, vivacious pink. So again, I'm trying to line up that notch, but also look at the butterfly and the foil. There we go. I'm not sure about that one. Ooh, that was way off. I need to use that notch as my guide. Sorry, y'all. I just want to get this right for what we're doing. Okay. There we go. I think that's right. Anyway, Berry Burst is this purpley pink, pinky purple. I don't know, how would y'all describe it? Again, sorry you're having to look at the top of my head. So I'm going to play around with different color combinations and see what, kind of as a guide to know, like, I think it was wise. I think doing the lightest one first. You'll notice I didn't blot off on the paper. I just blotted on the mask, sorry. So it's really important to try to keep them in place and not let them shift. All right. Let me close this up and we will have our big reveal. Ready, set, go. Okay, so I'm very happy with that. One thing I will say, this is true with heat embossing. I just grabbed a tissue with heat embossing and with masking like this. I'm just burnishing, or I don't think it's called burnishing. Anyway, I'm just rubbing off the ink off of the gold foil because it was beaded up on top in places, and that makes the gold shine and pulls off some of that Berry Burst that got on there. So let me take this off of my mat and bring this up here so that you can see it. Hey Dolly, I'm so glad you're here. I'm showing what I've made with the hot foil system, and I love that. So we're gonna work with this one first. I'm gonna move this inky mat out of the way. And I know this is a little sticky, so I'm gonna set this aside. This one I'm not gonna use tonight. I went ahead and ink blended some pieces for a second card. Which one? This one, the reason it's for the second card is I accidentally shifted my paper a little bit and it cut off a little bit of that wing, which is fine. I could put it on the edge. So I'm showing you pieces for two cards, not just one. And with the die cuts are these beautiful sprigs. So I die cut 3 with Peaceful Pine two-tone regular side up and then the light side up. I don't know if I'm going to use them. Y'all can help me. I just cut these pieces to make 2 cards. They are both Very Vanilla card bases. I forgot to mention this is Very Vanilla two-tone cardstock. And I cut a mat of Hydrangea Hue and a mat of Berry Burst. So I don't have my bone folder handy. And so let me just, sometimes I just grab like a Stampin' Block and whoops, give it a little smush to help that. All right, so first up, I'm gonna have 2 cards. So I'm gonna kind of build them together. One with a Berry Burst mat, one with a Hydrangea Hue mat. I went ahead and just picked a Very Vanilla base, thinking that I could put, I really need a happy birthday card, and should have gone ahead and die cut that, but thinking I could do like happy birthday. Remember, it'll be die cut out. It's not going to be this big. Let me do thank you because it's already cut. So like a thank you with maybe one of these or more of these. Let's see. My fingers do not want to pick these up. Ooh, I like that. I might like it better this way, like a 1, 2, 3, and a thank you. That's an option. This could be turned. So let me know. Okay, so I guess this is maybe option 1. I don't know. Then option 2 might be to do the thank you this way with some of these. This is where this little broken winged one could go right on the edge. See, now he's not broken. And maybe this one. I don't know, kind of an option 2. What do y'all think? I know it's not finished by any means, but again, ideas. For this one, I think I will use the berry burst and kind of lay this over the top. I do need to trim this one because of the foiling. It's kind of cool, but like that top part is cool, but the bottom part not so much. So let me just see. Actually, I do like the top. And okay, let me grab my trimmer. I know it's sticky, so I need to be careful. I do like 1/8 of an inch off the bottom. Let me just see. Yep, that's great. Like that. That's trash. And then I feel like I have a little more room on this side. So let me do 1/8 of an inch. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Right here. Sorry, y'all. And let's see what we think. I thought I was going to cut that off, that over foiling off, but I think I like it. So we're going to make this a card, and I will go back and add, oops, maybe add a sentiment. What do y'all think it needs besides some adhesive over here? 'Cause that was some wonky taping. See what it looks like if, well, let me go ahead and put this on the card front. Oof, that got stuck where it did not need to be stuck. Okay, I love that that original part that I didn't like actually has ended up in the design. So if I were to add this one, I would want to do like a band across there. I don't think that's what I want. Yeah, thanks, G. I mean, I say thanks, those butterflies are beautiful. I can't take a lot of credit. They really are beautiful. I have a little bit left of this pretty gold mesh ribbon, so I'm wondering what a gold bow might look like. So I'm just trying to carefully make a bow. I need to learn how to be a better bow maker, especially live. There we go. Not so bad. Because I'm kind of thinking maybe a bow across here. I don't know. What are y'all's suggestions? That was a very southern phrase. What are y'all's suggestions for finishing that? I don't want to gild the lily, but at the same time, it needs a little something. And I think I will save the sentiment for the inside, although a thin one. So the hot foil has a set of, I think it's 11 sentiments. They're really tiny and skinny. They're perfect for this sort of thing. But see, that's pretty to me. I like that. Just, okay, honestly, I like that. If I had glue dots here and not at the other table, I would be slapping that on there and calling it a card. Let me just trim this a tidge. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that because, again, those butterflies steal the show. I think that makes for a lovely little card, and my sentiment can go on the inside with whatever it might be. All right, I'm going to set that to the side. And what did y'all say about this one? Do we want to do it? I really want the happy birthday. So you know what I think I'll do? Let me know in the comments. We're just going to kind of piece it out. I can do happy birthday kind of like this as a top fold card, kind of like that. So if I move that one to the edge, the cut is supposed to be there. So that's one option because I know this will fit. Again, I'm going to die cut that out. The other thing, I can do some ink blending and things to make that pop. Or do you think it should be a top fold, a side fold card that might look a little bit more like this? So let me know in the comments whether you think this one should be a side fold or a top fold card. So that's kind of the gist of it. And I will do whatever y'all tell me and post what I create probably tomorrow, possibly Saturday, and in the comments. So thanks so much for watching. Again, I had a little fun tonight with the Butterfly Flight hot foil dies and the classic Greetings hot foil dies. And my August Crafternoon on August 16th is all about the hot foil. So if you're local, come join me. And if you're not local and you're interested in a kit, reach out to me and I'm happy to get that together and mail a kit to you. So, okay. So, hi Susan. Yay. Oh, good. You're in Ohio on your trip. Yay. Yes. This is all hot foiling. I didn't do the hot foiling part live, but the rest of it is live. So go back and watch it and let me know what you think. So Judy is voting for the landscape card, and I like both of them. I mean, I can be persuaded either way because they're really fun. So again, also a quick recap. I used the butterfly, let me see what they're called, Butterfly Flight decorative masks. To color these, they do include the butterfly bodies, so you could buy the masks and make the butterflies and not have all the hot foil stuff. And I mean, I know hot foil is not going to be for everybody, but I'm having fun with it. And again, it will be the highlight and feature of my August 16th Crafternoon. I hope you can join me in person, or if you're not local and are interested in a kit, just reach out. So thanks so much for watching, y'all. I appreciate it. And I hope that I have inspired you to create something, whether it's hot foil, whether it's just like, oh, I like that design, I could do that myself. I would love to see something that you've made in the comments. So thanks again, and be sure to go get inky. And I'll see you again next Thursday live, if not sooner. And on the 24th, Friday afternoon, is my next sip and stamp with some kit crafting together. So let me know if I can help with anything, and I'll see you again soon. Take care, y'all. Bye.